We gonna get deep, but hey, it's cool. I'm a sucker for love. I love romance. I love beautiful black love, whether it's intimate, whatever it is. I'm someone who loves people. I think that is just my attachment style.
How do you feel about making films about love and having been in love? How does that? How do you? All right, stop playing. Let's do it.
I'm waiting on you.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Content Bebop. I'm here today with Tiara West.
Hello.
Credited filmmaker, director, writer, lady person here in Atlanta.
Lady person.
Tiara, let people know who you are. Why should people listen to you?
Why should people listen to me?
Yep.
That is hilarious. I don't know. I don't know why they should listen to me, but I guess they can watch my films. And I don't. So when I say that, I mean it more so. I think I make pretty decent films.
Oh, okay. You think or you know?
I know. Let me say I know,
okay,
but I don't want to say it in like a cocky or type of thing. And even though I've learned to tell people too. You have to know that you're good at what you do. So I don't really think that is. I mean, there is a thing where you can be cocky and non-humble, but I also believe too that it's okay for you to know that you're good at the talent that you have been given.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that they can watch my amazing films. But as far as hearing me or listening to me speak, I don't.
Oh, that's very humble and nice of you guys. Please do not be fooled by her humbleness. She so what do you identify yourself as? A director, writer, just like a general filmmaker, a content creator?
Great question. Not content creator. Well, nothing wrong with content creator. Let me say that.
Okay.
Whatsoever. Some of my close friends are content creators, but I guess when I think of content creators, I think of just like a lot of like TikTok videos. And excuse me to all content creators, so don't think of it as me throwing any type of anything, because that's not the case. But that's a great question. And to answer that question, I would say I'm a director first. Before I was ever directing, I was actually in front of the camera. So I was acting for like 6-7 years.
I saw that. Yes.
I went to an all-black theater. It's called Arena Players back in Baltimore. So I was acting first. But now I kind of do more. Well, I want to start doing more like a Quentin Tarantino, Spike Lee type of just dip and dab, type of thing.
I feel you. Little cameos.
Yeah, that cameos is with make a dip and dab. So I would say director first, then writer, then everything else afterwards. But directing is my heart. That's my passion. So.
That's your heart. That's your passion. So do you think filmmakers are content creators? Do you think that line?
Yeah. I mean, I do. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with content creators. I don't think there's. Like I said, some of my closest friends are content creators, and to see the money that they make is like.
Yeah.
Like dang, I wish
switch
I could.
over.
Yeah, like come on. So I don't think it's anything wrong with content creators. I think it's just all in how you present your content.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah, so I don't think it's anything with being, because I've heard a lot of people have, they like, oh, content creators are doing this and they're messing it up for this, and because you see people with content creators who end up getting these big roles and they're in these lead films, but it's like they work hard just like you work hard. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I tell people your path is your path, and how you get it is how you get it. You know what I mean? If that's the talent that you was given, that's the talent that you was given. And a lot of us, we do different things and we really don't know what our talent is, or we just have things that we think we're supposed to be doing, and then something else lead to something else. So I tell people, don't knock somebody else's talent. If that's what they were given, then that's what they were given. So, and some people who are content creators are very talented actors or actresses, but you know what I mean? It takes that, whatever content they're doing, to be able to show the skills that they have. They may not have the luxury that other people have. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So
that makes perfect sense. What kind of filmmaker are you
then? So define, when you say that, mean a genre or just?
Yeah, like how could someone watch a film and know this is a Tiara West film?
I like that.
Come on now.
That's funny you say that, because that's like if you watch a Spike Lee, he got the dolly zoom.
You do know, right?
Like oh, that's a Spike
joint,
or Martin Scorsese. So I get that. For me, that's a great question. I think I am still building up to that point. I would say that, to be very honest. I do. A lot of people who watch my films, one of the things I love is close up tight shots. That is something that I try to put in a lot of my films, is tight shots as well as over the heads. Those are like my, I wouldn't say niche, but like my stamp, kind of like some people have their special shots, put it like that. But a lot of people who watch my films know, not to attend it's a lot of black people. So and it's a drama or romance, like that's, so
drama or romance.
So
why is that?
I'm a sucker for love. I love romance. I love beautiful black love. And don't get me wrong, I think all relationship has their moments where it's a little, I wouldn't say toxic, but a little bit of ups and downs. Let's put that.
That's life.
But I think if we all could get the real love that we envision in our head, would be beautiful. You know what I mean? So, and of course, like I said, things have its ups and downs. But I just think if we could really get, you know, that pure, that great love that we see from that male or that female, whatever it is that you're into, I think, you know, society would be a little different and we would be a little happier.
I do too, man. I think it's a lot of division going on. It's always man versus woman and all these social media posts. It's like, yo, goodness gracious.
It is.
It's like, we are meant to be together, yo. Why are we fighting each other so much?
But you know, I think, and that's true. That's totally true. I just think that once we get out of worrying about what society thinks and society telling us how we're supposed to do things, I think life would be a lot different. And that's what I've learned in my 30 years of living is there's a lot of things that growing up I felt like I should have already done by the time I was a specific age.
Like what?
Learn how to drive. So
what?
I'm gonna put that out there. You know what? I don't even care at this point. It's cool. Whoever see this and y'all got something to say, it's all right. But I learned how to drive literally maybe last year.
Oh man, that's crazy.
All right, whatever. I don't like how you just did that, but okay.
I'm speaking for them.
And you know what?
That's wild. I'm like, that's cool, whatever. But for them, I'm like, dang.
Right? People
that's
are like,
crazy.
But it's okay. And you know the reason why I say it's okay because you're not too old or you're not too young to learn. Like society has made people be like, oh, you gotta be this age when you know how to do this, and if you didn't do this, then you a late bloomer. You
Hey, you taking that and running with it, huh?
Yeah, because I don't believe that, right? Now, here's the thing I tell people. Yes, I just learned how to drive, right?
Right.
I'm in the process now. I'm getting a new place, but then I'll get me a car.
Okay.
But I'm going to get my dream cars, and I learned how to drive in my 30s. You know what I mean? But the same person, and I'm saying same meaning me, this same person who learned how to drive at an older age will be the same person who get her dream cars that she wants.
And I feel you on that.
You know what I mean? So it's that's nothing. The only difference is somebody else learned when they were 19. I learned when I was like 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's no difference because I'm still going to end up getting my dream car. I'm still going to do the things I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to, and to be honest, it was never really like, oh, I don't want to learn how to drive. It was just more I didn't really have a lot of people to teach me. My childhood, my upbringing was different from everyone else's.
Oh, how was it?
So I was a foster child.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I grew up as a foster kid, which is actually, and we'll get deep into that, but a new film that I'm working on this summer. But, so I was raised by my cousin, and now we have a great bond. We have a great relationship. I've learned to be appreciative of what she's done for me as I was a young woman, because I became a foster kid at like 11. But growing up, we didn't have a great bond. So I really never had a mother or father figure. So a lot of things that a lot of people got to do at a certain age, I didn't get to experience that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like driving and different things like that, we didn't have that bond for me.
What else did you miss that you would like to go back and experience?
Just having a mom. I'm gonna tell people. So here's the thing I tell people, right? We're gonna get deep, but hey, it's cool.
Deep as you want to get it.
There's a lot of things that people take for granted. And
You
it's
are
the
so right.
smallest things that you would never think is so important. So like having parents, and I mean like having parents who's there for you, who's, you know, who like just being able to talk to him about like guys that you're interested in and all those things like that. You know what I mean? Just being able to go like cuddle up with your mom when you want to, you know, whatever. Just those things are things that I like, dang, I wish I had that. Or when I, you know, guys that I'm dating now or whatever the case may be, I don't really have, I mean, I have my homegirls, you know, who we're older now, so we talk out trash about the guys that we date. But,
I'm sure.
we talk out dirt, but you know,
yes.
you know, I didn't have that mother figure to you know, to even just be able to express that. And so it's so crazy because we talk about how a lot of women need their fathers, but they need their moms too.
They do.
It is super important. Just like they need both. It is very important, and you'd be surprised how much a woman miss out on so much. And then I've learned as I got older, I used to be so clingy to like women, and when I say women, I mean like people like my social worker, like people that came into my life, it was someone like as a mother figure for that moment because I didn't have a mom. But it was so hard when they were like, well, Tiara, I can't be your mom, I'm just your social worker, I'm just whatever. It was just so deep because it was like, I kind of want a mom, you know what I mean? So for me, it was a lot of things growing up that I didn't get to experience because I didn't really have many people to teach me that until I got older and I learned, certain things. So, yeah.
You never know what a person going through.
You don't. Crazy. And that's why I tell people you shouldn't judge. You shouldn't. But I also tell people too, even if it wasn't my upbringing, if I just wanted to be like, yo, I don't want to learn how to drive right now. Like some people, I have anxiety. I used to have anxiety when it came to that. Like when I used to get in front of the, driving, and I used to have anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get into a car crash. Oh my. So you never know what somebody's experience is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to learn it. I was working at, and I'm not going to say the name of the lounge, but I was working at a lounge down here in Atlanta, and it was a good friend of mine. We were talking about like driving or whatever, and he was like, yeah, my brother doesn't drive anymore. But his brother was older, and I was like, dang, why you don't drive? He's like, well, because he got into a bad accident. Now he's afraid. We wouldn't have asked that question. We would just immediately put him in that, he don't want to drive. Like, that's crazy. Not knowing that this guy, and there's an actual name for that, for when you like get into accidents and that. It's called, you know how people have like, what is it? PTSD or something, right, but it's an actual name for like.
I believe it.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I done had some accidents, and it will.
Yeah, it will.
It will trip you up.
It will. So that always was a thing for me too. Just my anxiety, and had to learn to be comfortable, and had to understand. Like even now when I pray, like like when I pray, but when I get into the car, because one of my close friends, one of my good homegirls, she taught me how to like drive our car. Like she was like, yeah, come on, T, go ahead, just you know what I mean.
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my ace. That's my dog. Teresa's my ace. I was an intern at Bobcat Films, and she was an assistant to a really great high producer, and like literally we clicked, you know what I mean, like she would help me with a lot of stuff, so we just been like really close friends ever since. But one day I asked her, I was just like, yo, T, would you teach me how to drive? And she was like, yeah, I got you. And so it's so funny because now when I drive her car, like I be so close to like other cars, she be like, I'll be like, we ain't gonna get hit, calm down, we all right. But
hey, that's a good friend.
Right, no, that's my dog. I told her, I said, hey, when I make it, you coming with me. But I tell people too, you really don't know people until you know them, and that's why I always tell people, get to know someone before you immediately judge who they are. Everybody has a story. Everybody's story is different, but everybody has a story, so.
You are so right about that. You're right. Unfortunately, society doesn't work that way. But
it does not. And you know what? Go ahead, because you're about to say something.
I was just saying, because you're right. People, hey, man, the 2 posts on your Instagram, and I know everything about you moving on. And that's all you need to see about a person before they make a judgment.
That is true. And you know what? And I'm that way even when it comes to creating my films. Like I tell people, I do look at your social media. So
people be stalking. I feel you.
And I wouldn't even say that. It was just more of like
I've done it. I feel
but it's more like I get people that hit me up on a regular. Like, I would love to be a part of your films. I think your work is dope, and I'm so appreciative of that. To go from this little small fry to like, oh my goodness. And I'm not even like up there like that or anything, but I'm just saying like when people reach out to me, but the first thing I do is I definitely look at your social media, even though I know they say like, and I could be contradicting, not judging, but also say too.
See where you're going, yeah.
But that does hold some type of weight if you got nothing but just all of this out, and it's like that ain't the type of what I want in my film, you know what I mean. So at the same time, to be mindful of what you put out, be mindful of the things that you do, because there are people that watch it. Now, for a long time, I still go by this. I always tell people I don't always believe that the first impression is the best impression. I believe the first impression is a front. I believe you're trying to pretend to be someone that you're not, so someone can like you. But once they get to know you, they realize who you really truly are. You get what I'm saying? But unfortunately in society, yes, we do. When we sit in front of someone, we have to make it the first impression.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
I do it all the time with job interviews. I go to work, I go to the interview like, hey, I'm gonna be early every day, and 3 days later I'm late as crap. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't delayed in the interview. Well, you're getting the real me. But so
I'm in here now.
Right, I'm in here now, baby. I ain't gotta front nothing.
Right.
So yeah, I tell people, one, like I said, also it's true, don't judge, but at the same time, don't put craziness, especially when it comes to social media. I would say that's the biggest thing where a lot of people are judged because of the social media, and what you put out on social media. You know what I mean? And so my thing is, you don't really get to see the whole like people. If I would never told you, you wouldn't knew I didn't know. I just learned how to drive.
You're right.
That's not, you know what I mean? And hey, look, hey, hold on, okay. It is nothing wrong with that.
It really isn't. It's just uncommon. That's all. It's really nothing wrong.
It's very uncommon, but it's not a bad thing. And I've learned, you know what I mean? I've learned to tell myself I'm not going to let society or anybody tell me that because here's the thing I tell people. It's not that I don't know how to, so let me say this. The key thing that I've constantly been saying this whole time is I learned how to drive, not I don't know how to drive.
Right.
Which means I know how to drive now. You get what I mean? But at one point I didn't. I was just older when I learned.
Right.
And I'm glad that I took the pace that I wanted to take when I was ready to learn how to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, just not having a lot of people to teach me, or just even with my anxiety, which is crazy because I still have anxiety when it comes to like watching my films, and my friends notice that all the time.
I don't think that goes away.
That probably don't. I think that's probably creators, period. You know what I mean? So I just tell people, you move at your pace, move how you want to move. Like, stop letting society make you think that you have to do this at this time with this person, this and this, because then you'll realize that that's not what you want, and then you're upset, and you're hurt, and the only person it matters to is you. Yeah, it's your life. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you're comfortable, you're happy, and you're moving the way you want to move to make sure that you're okay. So,
that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Mm-hmm. You make movies about love. Have you ever been in love?
So I've had my share of guys that I was like, I'm in love with.
Nice. Were they in love with you, or
absolutely?
Okay,
most men.
It's both ways. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Well, so I would say, I guess I've been in love, and I'm saying in the sense of like, I'm a lovable person, period. And I love people, period. Whether it's a platonic, whether it's intimate, whatever it is, I'm someone who loves people. I think that is just my attachment style. I feel. And just the way that I was raised, because when you are raised with not having certain type of love that you want, you have a common of giving it off to other people. Does that make sense? Like, I kind of give it to people. Be a fact. Because like, this is what you wanted and you didn't get it, so I'm gonna give it to other people. You know what I mean? Hoping that they'll give it back to you. Yeah. And so I've had my share of guys who I was like really in love with, or just even I don't know love. I don't know if I would truly was like die hard in love, but I had love for a lot of guys that I've dated. Let me say that. Because I also learned that a lot of people really don't know what it's like to feel to be actually in love. That's
what I was going to ask you next. Yeah. You're right. Most people don't. They just having this idea.
Yeah. Of love. They don't know. That's just like I've learned too. A lot of people don't know what really makes them happy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anybody can, and there's a few, but not a lot. I would say there's maybe, if I say 5 on one hand, I say probably like 3 people or 2 can sit down and really be like, this is what actually makes me happy. Like, this is my joy. Yeah. Most people are still like, I don't know. Like, I never really thought that deep on what makes me happy, or like how I could continue to do this on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think a lot of us, we really truly don't know a lot about ourselves or a lot about certain things that's put into this world. We just go by what we hear from other people. So I would say I've had a lot of guys that and when I say a lot, not like,
okay.
Yeah, not like that. Like, not from the block.
Girl, you in Atlanta?
Not from the block, but
hey, go for it.
No. Hey, Rick gotta be paid. It's like, no, I'm just playing.
Hey, go for it, man. I ain't mad at you. I really ain't.
But I mean it in a sense of just people, guys that I've dated in the past or whatever. That I would say I did have stronger feelings for other guys. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was kind of in love or just, that lust, whatever. But I've had guys who I was like, okay, I could see me with you forever. Oh. But it just didn't work out, So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So how you know that you like? Because you were saying that. So okay. It was a long answer.
Go ahead.
But let me cut through it. Is it so? Yes or no? That you feel like you have been in love, or
not love?
You haven't.
I feel like I've been like semi-LO. I ain't get the
beat. Been low, okay. You ain't had the whole love.
Like, and I'm saying it in a sense like I said, I mean, when I say there are guys who I can say, okay, I can see myself with you forever. It just, I don't know if it was just that moment. Right. Does that make sense? Sometimes certain things are just that moment.
I understand.
But, I don't know. I just feel like, sometimes there can be words that are said that make you feel a certain way for that moment that you feel like it's going to be a lifetime. And, so I don't know. I don't, like I said, some people just don't know. I true. I mean, you do truly know if you've been in love. Like, let's be for real. Some people know. Like, yeah, I've been in love.
Some people know.
Yeah, but I think for me, it was just more of I've had strong feelings.
I mean, I think that's a mature thing to even know.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, some people don't know.
They don't.
They think they know love,
but they don't. They have no idea. And then that's like I said once again, a lot of people may feel like, dang, there's so many things that this person hasn't experienced at this age. But I tell people everything, and majority of a handful of things that you go through in your adulthood has to deal with your childhood.
It does.
The things that you experience on the inside, how you feel, the things that you lack, that you missed, you don't know what it's like in your adulthood. So you're still trying to navigate, like, is this what it's supposed to feel like? I never got this as a kid, so I don't know if this is what it's feel like adulthood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that was where that was, and where I still am in my adulthood. It's like so many things that I missed out from not having a mom and a dad, or just certain things that I'm like, is this how this feel, or am I doing this right, or so that's kind of why a lot of things trigger where they are in my adulthood. And I'm learning, like, just having a therapist and those different things now, because like I said, people don't understand that your childhood is a big deal.
It is.
It really is a big deal. So
yeah, a lot of stuff doesn't come out till you get older.
Yeah,
you realize
exactly.
Like, oh, that's why I do this.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving back into film. So do you not find how do you feel about making films about love and having been in love? How does that? How do you?
I think with that too. I think I wouldn't say for other people. For me, I think I've expressed the things that I want to feel.
I feel.
Does that make sense? So like the things that I will want a man to do. And don't get me wrong, I've dated some pretty good men. Like let's be honest.
Why didn't they work out then?
I was very aggressive.
Oh.
What's wrong don't be that? Like I can see. Oh, I thought you was about to say.
I couldn't. I don't.
Cameras. Cut the cameras.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say. I don't get that from you.
Thank you. I've changed it. I've changed it over the years. Right. Yeah, I had to. It is.
You were in Baltimore. I could see
Come
it
on
though.
Now. Right close to New York. No shade, but New York men are like.
They are different.
They are different. Yes. I had so here's the thing. Once again, I go back to saying, when you lack certain things, it catch up to you as you get older.
It does, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know how to do certain things. I didn't know how to be certain things for those type of guys that I dated. I wanted it, but I didn't know how to, what I would say, reciprocate, is that the word I'm looking for? Just to give it back to them. You know what I mean? So just having that aggressiveness and being like, for me, I guess to get a little deep, but we can get off of it, but just my mom, and at the time she dated my little brother's dad, how he was so abusive. You know, he was super abusive. And so I always felt like I had to be like, like, you ain't about to do that to me. You know what I mean? I had to make sure I put my foot down, but it was also like, you're being a little too hard. Just because this person went through this don't mean this is what you're going to go through. But that's all I saw growing up if I became a foster kid, So I think it's more of that thing of like, it was that aggressiveness. It was that this is what I want, this is how you're going to do it. It was, you know what I'm saying, not being able to really show them. And it was more like there were guys that I was in love with probably, or I felt like, okay, I was in love with, quote unquote, but I didn't know how to like show that. Yeah, or it's like that tough love type of thing, but some people don't see it that way. You know what I mean? And so, it was more of like just an aggressive thing. Like there's a guy now, and I'm not gonna say his name, but he's happily married with like 2
okay, kids. Well, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, right. What was his name? All right, never mind. He got a family.
I remember one time he has a whole family. But I remember one time I was working at this school, right? Now, mind you, I look like how I look now, probably just younger. So the kids just thought I was their age, right?
Yeah, I can see
they
that.
was definitely trying to talk to me, and I'm like, little boy, go to class. But anyway, so I remember one time I was working at the school. And I was a volunteer coordinator, so I was just like helping people that come up there or whatever. And one time the principal had called me to the office, right? So my mom, I'm like, okay. And I think I was like mid-20s. I had to be, early, because I moved to Georgia when I was like 21 or 22, I think, going on 23. So anyway, so I had been like at least like 20, 21 at this time. But anyway, she called me to the office, and I was like, hey, what's up? In my mind, I'm like, I'm fired. All right, cool. But I didn't know, So she's like, you got some roses. Somebody left you roses. And I was like,
come on
what?
now.
And she was like, yeah, somebody left you roses. And then when I got the roses, it was a card from him, and he had gave me roses. He had dropped them off at my job.
Have you ever gotten roses before?
Before that, no.
Ooh.
Right.
Wait, did it hit, or
it hit?
Was it like?
Now I've got roses a lot. Like I've got them.
But
at that time, and I think it was more. It wasn't even just the fact that it was the roses. It was the fact that he came all the way to my job to just randomly drop them off that's what made it so.
Ooh, he dropped them off. He didn't use flowers.com.
Like it was so, and I think that was we wasn't well. So dating back in Baltimore, we say dating as like kind of how we said as a relationship with boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's the way I thought.
But dating now in Georgia, it's like y'all going on dates. Like
it just means
y'all getting to know each other.
Dates, with 20
but
people.
Dating in Baltimore was like, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah,
that's my girlfriend.
Right.
So let's say the Georgia way of dating, we were just dating. So we were just going out, hanging out, whatever.
Yeah.
And wasn't anything sexual, you know what I mean, anything like that. But we were both attracted, of course, to each other. But he had his reasons, I had my reasons, right? And so
I'm sorry. These reasons. What were the reasons? People just like skipping over important details.
I'll tell you that later.
All right.
I'll tell you.
I'll let y'all know.
Yes. But And so anyway, so we were really, we had talked years ago, and then we stopped, and we started talking back again. And this was like, I had my own place at this time. I was working at the school. And so, so we were kind of, like really kind of rekindling, being cool again or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, he just like randomly brought flowers to my job. And I just was like, I had never had a guy just randomly bring something to my job like that with a whole like note. It was just the sweetest thing ever. Like I mean, we went to a casino back in Baltimore, and I had wanted to go to the casino. He's like, all right, let's go. He literally gave me like $100 just to play whatever I wanted to play. Most people not putting $100 in the slot at a casino. At least I don't know people that do. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Most people pocketed that. Like, like let me get that $100. Like, I'm not putting that to play anything. I want this, right? So he just gave it to me. He was like, here, go ahead, play what you want to play. You know what I mean? It was like I spent his money to go try to make money at the casino, right? So it was just small things that he did.
And it still was just I'm sorry. He giving you money, flowers, notes, showing up his job.
So we had a true, like, to be very honest, he was celibate at that time.
Oh.
Yes,
okay.
he was waiting. And of course he got kids now. So
he ain't no more. Okay.
Right. All right. He went to the Marines, and he met his wife, and they had kids. And I'm saying too much because I don't want to know that to him. But anyway.
I understand.
But anyway, and hopefully he was at that time. I don't know. They'll tell you anything now, but
you're right. Because does that work for a man's benefit to tell a woman that he's celibate?
It depending on the female. I mean, I don't know. Me
did
personally,
it work for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he did just say but who knows? I don't know. Whatever.
But I mean, I think it depends. Like I said, it just some guys will probably tell you that just hoping that you be like, oh, well, can we, and then he's like, all right, I'm cool with it. And like, nigga, say you was trying to, no, it's with you. I'm okay. I'll
maybe she'll try harder now that she knows
so men will tell you anything.
Yes, they will.
But yeah, it was. I think, how did him and I stop talking? I think I said something really aggressive to him, or I said something that was really hurtful.
Dang, what'd he do?
He cut me off. He started talking. He was like, I can't remember word from word, but it was just saying how deep he really liked me, how deep he could see us together. But I was just so aggressive. I was too hard. He was like, you have this really hard side, like, and I don't want to deal with it. Like, it's not what I want, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of, I think it was more like hard to love me, if that makes sense.
No, I do know. Yeah.
And so he was just like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, until you can fix it, I don't really want to be around you or be with you. Like, you just have an aggressive hard side, and I don't know what you're trying to prove or whatever. But for me, it's not attractive. And some men love it. Some men think like, women aggressive is nice. But then there are other men who like, I just want that.
Everybody's different.
That softness. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to feel like you have to be super hard and manly, so yeah, we stopped talking until this day. I mean, I just stopped checking his Facebook, but no, when I say just me, like once he's had his first son.
I feel you. I
think
understand.
His first son is like 5 now or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so his first son probably older, like 6 or 7, because he has a second son. But
I'm sorry, that's actually a sad story. I'm sorry to hear that. Dang, that's a long time to be.
But it's okay. I mean, and it's him. And I've dated some pretty great guys. Like, that's the one thing I can say that I've always pat myself on the back. When it came to dating men, I ran into some great guys. And I think it was because of that firmness, but also because of me knowing what I want in a guy and not settling. Like, my friends used to always like, T, your standards are so high. Like, you got some high standards. It's going to be forever for you to get married. Like, and, but I've dated great guys. I've dated some really good guys. I think a lot of it at that time was me. But it took me years.
That's maturity.
It took me years for me to say that I was the problem. Because
most
who
people
wants
never
to
understand
admit?
that.
Yeah, like who wants to be like, I'm the problem, it's me.
So many people I know.
But it wasn't even, to be honest, Marcel, like I didn't realize that until I started not only losing like intimate or just guys that I'm dating or whatever, but when it was platonic relationships too, like my homegirls or just male friends that you have, because I had platonic friendships with males too. Okay. You know what I mean? But when I started losing those people, it was like, you're the problem. And like one of my old social worker, and I won't mention her name either, but one of my old social workers when I was a foster kid, she once said to me, I remember, she was like, you're going to lose a lot of people who care about you because of the way you come off. And at that time I was like, all right, whatever, like I don't care. And then people started dropping. And you know that saying, they like, oh, maybe it's just them, you know, maybe you outgrowing them, maybe, and that's all you ever hear from people. But you never look at, like, if it's a repeating thing, it ain't them. It's you, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's you. And until you see that, you're going to keep pointing the finger at everybody else, and you're going to keep making like they're the problem. You don't want to see that you're the problem, because some people don't want to fix anything. Because a lot of people realize that once they fix things, then there's new things that's going to be in place, or, you know, new things that's going to happen. And some things may not be what they want. You know what I mean? It's kind of like getting out of your comfort zone.
Right, exactly. Nobody like doing that. So,
nobody, you know, so... Yeah, so that's kind of why, you know, I'm a big sucker on, but also I'm a big sucker on romance too, because I do know for sure I'm going to meet my husband. Like, I do know, and I want him to watch them films. Watch them films and be like, okay, this is what my wife wants. Like, get it together. Okay. So you want your significant other to work with you in the film industry, or do you think that's not a good idea to be work in the same industry? As of today, yes, I do want him to be in the film, right? Okay, I feel. Because me and my wife, we're not and we do not. So it's best she stay over there. Okay, that works out. Yes, if you see, we're here in this. Hey, you at work? Leave me alone. Let me do my thing here. We're gonna switch to you. We're gonna get back to me though. Have you ever dated a woman that was in the film?
That's a good question. No.
No. You will probably never find out now, but
I'll never. I'm married now.
Right, that's what you're never find. That is over.
Nah.
So you never would have known if it would have worked out or not.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but it depends on the person. You know what I mean? It ain't like just me overall. Never. No, it's just me and my particular wife. Hey, nah, you over there. Right. Let me get some space over here.
No, well, so you know, it's funny you said that, because that was a great question. Because that is what I. Right now, let's say that, because I haven't experienced it. Nothing. So right now, yes, I do prefer him to be into my field, because the guys that I did date or talk to, whatever, that wasn't in my field, it was so hard to constantly explain why I'm like staying up to get stuff done, or why I can't sit and have a conversation with you all day, or why I don't have a lot of time. And don't get me wrong, I do tell people, you make time for what you want to make time for. That is a fact. But I also realize too that when people who are in my field, they understand where I may not have time right then in that moment, or why we may just text good morning, but we just text good morning and good night. Yeah. Because in that middle part, I'm doing something. I'm busy. It's not you. It's just I'm busy. And so, as of right now, yes. You know, like I said, I've heard my ups and downs. I've heard people be like, you going to get tired of dating somebody in your field. Like, it's not going to work. Y'all going to clash. It could work the other way. You want to see them, and now they busy. Yeah, or just even trying to, you know, it's funny because I had this guy, right? He got a whole girlfriend now, whatever. Hey. Right? Hey. But you know what?
You keep letting them get away.
Him and I never even talked, but I had the crush on him. Right, whatever. What's his name? I can't tell you that because he's gonna probably definitely see this. Right. And if I say anything, he gonna be like, "You never told me this." And I'm
like, you ain't even. He don't even know.
He doesn't know. And I wouldn't tell him now. He has a girlfriend. But anyway, he's a filmmaker, and I don't know if I should say this, but he's also what I am.
He's also what now?
He's a director.
Okay. You got a thing for Miles?
What?
Oh, no. Okay. All right. I'm trying to pull something out, but it didn't. I'll stop. Okay. My bad. He ain't got no girlfriend. So never mind. That was a bad guess. All right.
He said he ain't got no girlfriend. Miles, don't let him do you like that.
My bad.
But anyway, so he has a girlfriend. But the first thing I thought in my mind was like, if we was to even pursue or even get anywhere, will we be like head with directing? Will we be like, no, this is how you do it. No, this is how you're supposed to do it, because we're both doing the same thing. So that's always been my thing too. Was like, trying to date a guy that's in my field but does the same thing as me. It's like, do I want him to do the same thing as a director? I might prefer him to be like maybe a writer or producer or you know what I mean, something like that. But I don't know if I want him to be like a full-blown director like me.
Yeah, y'all fighting for the same
position.
I'm
like, I don't know. A lot
of jobs out here in Atlanta.
I don't know how that will work. But so to answer your question, as of right now, yes, I do prefer to date a man in my field. But the funny thing about it when it comes to just dating now, I've been so to myself for a while because I've been like focusing on me, working on me, trying to like get to a certain point in my film career that I haven't really been like thinking about dating. That I think I've gotten too comfortable by myself. And so now like the one thing I've been talking to my therapist about was like, can I balance a relationship in film? You know what I mean?
I think you can, but what'd your therapist say?
Oh, dang, that was a long time ago. But at that time I think it was more her saying too, like, just doing certain steps, learning how to like be able to balance it. You know what I mean? Because it's more of her saying like you don't want to block off anything because you're afraid of, you know, whatever type of thing. And so that was always been my fear of like, and the one thing she always told me too, she was like, I love that you're very honest. You know what I mean? Because some people probably wouldn't even say, I don't know how to balance it.
That's a great quality.
They would probably not. You know, they don't. And most people, that is the issue of the situation is that they don't know how to balance the two, or they're afraid because they feel like if they get into a relationship, it's going to like cut off them being focused.
Which it will.
That's what happens. It does. And I think that's why the biggest reason too I want to date someone in my field so I can stay focused.
You can stay focused. and that philosophy makes sense. But I do think if you find the right person, it will help. You know, because like my wife, we don't. But
she probably has a very great understanding.
She's very understanding.
Yeah,
like she don't think I'm in here doing nothing crazy funky with you, nothing. She know we just in here doing the podcast.
Right.
It ain't, you know, she understand. Like literally 2 days ago, I told her, I told you I got a job, a shoot out in New Orleans. Hey, but you know, my bad. Something came up. I gotta go to New Orleans next week. She don't think I'm flying off to go meet my mistress and nothing. Like, yo, I'm finna go there. I gotta go shoot next week. A lot of times she come with me, but it's like, you know, it is that understanding of just and just being supportive, because the right person will be supportive. And understanding. Because like some things I have, she bought for me. Like she bought some stuff to go on my van. She bought me like before the van. She bought me like a little magnet for the business to go on the car. So it's like the right person will elevate it and get out the way.
You know, that takes time. But I also think I'm learning too. Like I do believe in that saying, they'll find you. You don't have to go out and look for them. But it's now. Hold on.
To a degree.
Yeah, because I feel like also too with that. You know. Okay, so let me say this. Right now, I prefer not to date men with kids, right?
I feel you.
Now, there are a lot of people like, T, you gonna miss your blessing. And I'll be thinking like,
no, you're not.
Baby, am I? Like, he said, no, you're not.
Kids, you think it's complicated, just the person. You got a kid in the mix too?
And that ain't even mine. I'm trying to,
right.
You know what I mean?
No, just kids are beautiful.
They are.
But come on now.
But, you know, so, I've learned to just keep my options open. I've learned, the one thing that I've learned too that I have learned to do in my late 20s, and I say late meaning like 27, 28, whatever, was learning to also not be afraid of returning to a man, if that makes sense. So when I say meaning, when I was younger and I was in my early 20s, I always was like, men gotta come to me first. Like they gotta come ask me out on a date. They gotta come talk to me. But it's like I see guys, I'm like, he fine. Let me go see. You know what I mean?
Hey,
and I do it in a little slick way, you know. So, you know, and he could say yes, he could say no. You know what I mean? But I've learned that too. Like, and I think that's because I have a lot of male friends too. That like they be like, T, just go say something. Why you don't just try to talk to him? Like, you know. So that's like even guys that I talk to, and I'm like, oh, I want to go on a date. You know what I mean? I know how to ask them, like, would you like to go out? You know what I mean? You want to go on a date or whatever? You know, now don't get me wrong. Most of my life, I've had men come to me first and ask me out on a date.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. But I also learned too, like sometimes you'll have it where two people are attracted to each other and they are just friends, because some people are just, and at one point I had like male friends that I was like attracted to, like I really like you, but I don't want to go deep because I don't know if it's going to mess up our friendship.
Okay,
right? Relax. I actually have a guy friend like that right now.
What's his name?
He's an actor, but I'm not going to tell you. And I don't actually even talk to a lot of my male actors, but this specific person I do.
He was on your set? Like you were directing him?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was never on my set. He was never on my set.
We digging. Okay. But you would like to work with him though?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to work with him, but but I just know that he's an actor. He's into film. So
because he's a tall, dark skin.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it out of me. Let
or short, light skin. Okay.
It's not. All right. It won't be
whatever,
there. But anyway, I have not took the time to be like, I would love to go out with you. And I'm only afraid of that because, not because I'm not cute. I'm very cute. But, hello. But.
Are you blind, sir? Yeah, I feel you.
But I think it's because I realized too that some men can literally just be like, yo, you are a great friend. You're very beautiful. You're very attractive. But I just like that friendship. That's just like women. We have this thing where if a man comes speak, I was like this too. You walking down the street and a man be like, how you doing, beautiful? The first thing you like, oh, I want to talk to you. He just probably just trying to say hi. Like,
it might be. Yeah.
You know, some guys just be like, how you doing, beautiful? And they'll walk and I be like, oh, he was just speaking. Like, that was it. You know, so there are some guys who really just probably like you as a person. You know what I mean? You may not be really like, okay, I'm into you in that kind of way. That doesn't mean you're unattractive or anything. It just mean that you may have something, or just like, I just like you as a friend. And so that's why I'm like, okay, I haven't took that route of asking him. But then I'm also like, if he like me, ask me. So what's going next, right?
But he might be scared too, though.
That's what my friends have been saying. They be like, see, he might be scared to ask you because he don't know if you feel that. You know what I mean?
Why don't you ask him to work with him first? You know, like that'd be my thing.
And I would not put him into a romance.
Oh, why? Oh, come on. All right.
People probably like, she can't. Because if you trust that person, you understand them, then you shouldn't have a problem. Hey, true. Whatever. That's a good looking man. Nope. Next.
I feel you though, and I like your style because I'll be honest with you, that happened to me once. Like, dudes, hey, look, we don't think like women think. I'm being honest. We are one track, laser be looking over here at her, ain't even notice you sitting right next to you. You be like, oh, you like, oh, what's up? You know, forget that. You know, like dudes, we don't. Right. You know, we don't. Anyway, so I think it's a great idea to get what you want.
There you go.
Go get what you want. It's yours. Go get it.
That's the right word to use.
And it's 2024.
Get what you want.
Hey man, this is not the 50s no more.
No,
and get what you want out of life.
I told a friend, I was telling a friend, one of my good male friends, platonic friendship. I told him the same thing. I was saying like, yeah, you know, as far as like trying to talk to him, and he was just like, what did he say? He said, oh, I forgot. It got to come back to me. But it was more in the sense of like saying, get what you want. But he was just like, it got to come back. I forgot. Dang. It got to come back. It got to come back. Well, we were having to talk about it, but I lost my train of thought.
If you get it, let me know. But sure. We got so derailed, but we're talking about all these things because I think, I'm asking you, do you think like your films will reflect as you find LOVE, the full love? Do you feel like your films will reflect it?
I think so. I think for sure. I mean, I also want to kind of get out of just my niche, my shell.
Oh, I feel.
So I do want to expand and do like thrillers. So let me say, I love drama and romances. I can do those with my eyes closed. But I've done like a thriller before. I've done a dramedy. I just don't do them often. But yeah, I think so. The thing is, I would say, not even just with love, as I grow as a woman and as a director, my films will grow as well. You know what I mean? So whether that's being in love, whether it's whatever, I think that the point is for my films to grow, period. But I do believe that once I do get into a relationship, that my films will definitely grow. And it will, and I say grow, I mean like growth of like better wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So. Yeah. Okay. I think so too. Because as a filmmaker friend of mine now, I think his films would do better if he matured a little bit.
Mouse?
Huh? I didn't even say what.
Because you threw Mouse at me. So.
And you just threw him. That's the only reason she said that. I didn't say it was you, Mouse.
You threw him at me.
But I have a few friends. I just feel like the more you live life,
we love Miles.
Yeah, Miles is great.
Yeah,
come on now, right? Sure, right? Yes, he is amazing. Yeah, so it's like I think your films mature with you. You know what I mean?
They should.
They should.
They should. Like, it doesn't always work that way. I don't think. The thing I've learned, and not to cut you off, I'm sorry. Right. I've learned that growth is a beautiful thing, but I've learned that not everybody grow. And I've also learned that some people grow, of course, at their own pace. You know, so the thing that I'm learning about growth, and I think we were speaking about this as far as like me cutting off a friend that I had that I was friends with. I feel like I've been to a point in my life where I'll have certain people that I'm really close with, and we will like, I wouldn't even say we have like a fallout. It's just we kind of no longer speak. We distance ourselves, right? And I've learned to tell myself that in those situations, it's not always bad. Sometimes it's either you growing, they not growing, or they growing, you're not growing, or you guys are just not able to grow together at this point. You guys have to separate in order for y'all to grow. You know what I'm saying? But I also learned that too, that some people are comfortable where they are, who they are, and what they're doing. You know what I mean? So they probably won't grow no time soon because they like what it is that they're doing. You know what I mean? And so in order for you to not be where they are, to be, I wouldn't say better, but just different in a better way.
It's nice of you to put it that way.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to step away so you can grow, you know? So hopefully some people's stuff will grow, but there'll be people who will be doing the same things for years, and you like 40 still making that movie. That's crazy.
No, I totally. I mean,
that's them. They like it.
I've told people this before, but that's one of the main reasons I started doing this podcast, just to make new friends and meet new people, rekindle relationships with people I haven't met or talked to in a long time. Because a lot of my friends, man, I really feel like they are just stuck. The same thing? It's the same as in college or high school, just the same person. It's like, I won't grow the longer I keep hanging out with you. And I still love you, but I can't stay here. I gotta grow.
That takes a strong person to say, I still love you, but I have to grow. Right. Like you're not growing. You know what I'm saying? Because I truly believe, and I guess to a certain extent, but I have a lot of belief that you are who you hang around.
You 100%.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
Excuse me, sorry. If you're around somebody on a regular and they do this on a regular, you will eventually start to pick up those habits.
You will.
You know what I'm saying? Now, and I said, like, the reason I say to an extent, because I have friends who do smoke. I don't smoke. I have friends who do drink. I don't drink, but I'm not around them every day.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have some of those friends, like, we like this, but we don't see each other all the time. You know what I mean? Where I'm, like, constant. You know what I mean? So I don't have a need to pick up those habits because I'm not with you all the time to pick up those habits. You know what I mean? But just like even those friends, like, I cut off red meat, so I don't eat red meat anymore.
Oh, I feel
I have friends who do, and like they know out of respect, let me not ask T, do she want any of this? Like I had a friend recently, one of my good friends, Teresa, my dog, we were out at a coffee shop getting some work done, and she had like this sandwich. It had like ham in there or whatever, right? And she was like, "Oh, you want some?" And she's like, "Oh, my bad. No." She's like, "I'm sorry. That was so disrespectful to ask you that." Like she immediately corrected herself and was like, "That was disrespectful for me to ask you, knowing that you don't even eat that." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know the fact that you can see like, yo, I still love you, but I gotta love you from a distance, because that's a thing too. To love people but still love them from a distance.
Sometimes you gotta do that with family. Yes.
Oh, I got somebody right now, but I ain't gonna say who it is.
Yes, I understand.
Because if he watches, he gonna be mad.
Well, who are they?
It's a family member.
Okay. Well, they already know who they are. Then,
no, don't. Sure. But anyway,
right.
Love him, my heart, but I gotta love him from a distance. That's my dog. But yeah, the fact that you can see that, but it takes a person. It takes a lot for you to see that you need to grow.
It does.
It's rare. It's really rare because most people, you have someone else telling you that you need to grow, telling you like, hey, you need to like grow, or you need to whatever, however they say it to you. It's rare that you see that you need to be the one to grow. So when you see that, you know, to me, it's a big deal.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, I agree. That takes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got so derailed, but this has been a great whole nother little joint. It's been a good little whole little joint, you know.
Crazy. Oh, you got no more film questions?
I do, but let's reach it.
So, social media. My Instagram is Tiara West. It's TIARAWEST.
They do think that, crazy folks.
All right. I had someone who texted that was like, hey, Tiara. Right. And I was like, nah, that's not how you spell it. But it's TIARAWEST.
Okay.
That's my Instagram. That's my Facebook as well. I really don't be on Twitter that much, but that is my Twitter. I don't have a TikTok. If you go on my TikTok, you won't see like 2 videos, and that's just my director's reel and my trailer from Melanie and Kyle. But you can still follow me.
Okay. What you working on? What you got coming up? Okay. What you working on?
I'm still So I'm still pitching Melanie and Kyle. That is a short, it's a romance piece. It's a silent piece, and the poetry was by Shawnee Roberts, which she's a great person. So we're in festivals for that. But I am working on a short this summer. So it's to give you a little bit of the, I guess you say, log line. It's basically about a young woman who ages out of foster care, and she ends up moving with her estranged older sister. And now they have to kind of rekindle a relationship they never had. Yeah, so she's because I was a foster kid, and as a foster child, when you about to age out of the system, you have to have somewhere to go. And at that time, it was either for me homeless shelter or my grandmother. But my grandmother already had like so many people living with her that it was like, okay, we got to figure something out for you. And so in this story, it is the young girl. Her name is Sam. Her name is Samantha, but they nicknamed them in the film is Sam. But she's aging out of foster care, and the only person they have that she can live with is her sister, but she doesn't know her sister. They never was raised together. It's on her dad's side, so she has no idea who this person is. So that's what we're working on this summer.
Spin on things. Yeah, I mean, it's just a different world. I ain't gonna lie. I had a good little childhood. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, I'll tell people. You had a great childhood. Thank God, because there are some people.
It's one of them things in life where we talk about as you get older, you realize, it's like, man, and I do. Yeah, it's one of the things you should not take for granted, as you mentioned. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't. I think we think about like
simple as that. Yeah, true.
Which stuff like stuff like that you shouldn't take for granted either. But just like fingers and stuff, but it's so much other stuff too. Even that, just like to a household, not even if it's. Even if you don't have a two-parent household, just having both parents and able to co-parent in a way where you're okay. All that stuff is things that we really take for granted, and we don't even know it. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on this summer. I'm excited.
Let's end this real quickly. I like to end these on rapid fire questions. I ask people just real quick questions. It's either one or the other, either or, and you just pick one. Okay. And we move on from it. So, first question: Android, iPhone? You okay?
iPhone.
Number, of course.
I was gonna say that.
These people. All right. Number 2. Short form or long form?
We may film it?
Like content. Like what would you like?
Short
Stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, short.
All right. A good movie or a good podcast?
Good movie.
All right.
Sorry.
I feel you. Somebody picked podcast and you're a filmmaker. I was like, all right. Night owl or morning bird?
Ooh. Is that a thing for neither? I don't know.
Nah, you got
because I don't like getting up in the morning, but I also, when you say night owl, meaning you go to bed late, or like you like to go to bed late?
Like you come alive at night. Like that's when you write the script and stuff. Then okay.
Yeah, but
I feel.
More of a mid owl.
Okay, that's not. That's not a choice. Would you rather have a camera that never runs out of battery or a camera that never runs out of memory?
Memory.
Okay, I feel. Would you rather be surrounded by loving strangers or like spiteful loved ones?
Loving strangers.
I feel. And for the hell of it, one more. You just left a shoot with an important client. Would you rather lose all your equipment or all your hard drives and memory from this shoot?
Hold on, say that one more time.
All right, you just left a shoot. This is a scenario. You driving on your way home. You at a red light, do run up gun. Hey, yo, run that.
Equipment.
Okay, all right.
I would say equipment.
You'd rather lose the equipment.
Yeah, it's going to hurt, but they paid me for that?
Yeah, it was a paid gig. Yeah, it's a paid. You're right. That's a good point. But yes, it's a paid gig. If not, take the memory card. Right. I ain't get paid.
That's still hard. I don't know because I can just shoot it for you. I say a hard drive.
You say hard drives?
What's on my hard drive?
It's just their stuff. It ain't like
your work. Take the drive. We'll reshoot it.
A paying client, you gonna call them back and be like,
it for free. I would have to reshoot it for free.
Whew.
Because depending on what you got, they probably paid you less than what you have in your car or what they stole.
Hey, look.
I'm sorry, but they may have, like, your camera. Let's just say they paid you. I'm just saying. Let's just say quick $2,500. Not much, but the quick $2,500, right? That's just pay a little bit of bill here. Your camera probably cost you about like $4,000, depending on the camera.
I ain't arguing.
I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll just shoot this for you really quick.
You don't mind those hard conversations? I'd be scared just to call them.
Okay,
back.
let me go back. Let's go back. You say the answer to those same questions that you asked me.
I'm picking, and I don't know. Dang, hold on, you can't do this.
No.
I don't know, because I think I might switch over to iPhone. Everybody, my wife just got an iPhone. I got an Android now, and I like Android, but everybody got iPhones.
You got to pick.
And it's like
I couldn't be in the middle. You got to
right,
pick. So which one?
Damn. I'm gonna go. Hey man, I'm gonna go Android.
Okay,
man,
cool.
Forget the iPhones. I'm gonna go
All
Android.
Right. What was your second question?
Short form or long form? I'm gonna go long form.
Long content?
No, I'm gonna go short form. Screw that. I don't have the patience like I used to.
I don't think none of us
get
older.
Don't. I'm gonna pick a good movie, and I'm gonna pick Night Owl. Camera that never runs out of battery or memory.
Oh, you said, yeah, that was the next one. Okay.
I think it will. I did ask you one that I did not write down on the list.
About the family thing.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be with some loving strangers, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've learned strangers will be there for you quicker than your family will. So you'd be surprised. Yes. Now, the memory thing, what was that one?
Oh, I'm losing my equipment.
Oh, okay. No, wait. But what was the one? You said run out of memory or batteries?
Batteries are that one. I don't know. Yeah, I'm picking a camera that never runs out of battery.
Why? I
hate batteries. I use the Blackmagic, and I don't like batteries for some, and I hate that camera for that one reason. Not hate it because I have it and I love it, but I mean, just it's the annoying thing about it.
I'm thinking I can go buy batteries, but I feel you. But those specific cameras. Batteries are probably expensive.
It's just I don't know. I would just love a camera I would never have to plug up again. Never run AC power to it. Never have to think about that. Because I already don't think about memory like that. I mean, it's cool. My memory ain't going nowhere.
Until you shoot something and you like, we can't shoot because we ain't dumped the footage.
Now, that's true. But
I'd have been in that situation, baby. That's why I said battery.
I feel like people are more understanding when you tell them we need to dump footage. We ran out of memory.
Yeah,
than when you tell them your battery died. They're like, you ain't charge your batteries last night?
Sure. I think I'm both because I've been on my sets before where we literally had to wait 40 minutes because we only had one card.
That's not.
And I ain't even gonna tell you who the person was.
I feel you.
But we was using an Ursa Mini, Blackmagic, and this is when I first was learning about RAW. I didn't even know RAW footage took so much space.
So I feel both answers because you're right.
It
does.
Every time we shot, we had to wait 40 minutes to keep. You know how it was worse. But last question, what was the last one? You said that was Kyrie. Did that to you?
I was just asking.
No, that wasn't. He threw Kyrie.
No, I'm just wondering. That's all.
No, you don't even own the Ursa Mini.
I know he does. Just playing.
That was a good one. What was the last question?
Client, lose your equipment or your memory. Equipment? I'm gonna lose my equipment. Wow. And that's, trust me, it's a tough choice either way. But hopefully,
you don't think you could just reshoot it for free?
It depends on the client. If it's like I don't. It depends on what it is.
You right.
In my scenario, in my head, it was a big client. Though,
in my head, I was thinking like a corporate video.
That's what I'm saying.
Just talking.
Oh, yeah, but even those, man, because they got to get company people to come down. They got to talk. They had to get free for the video to shoot.
So you weren't just. I mean, but
I'm gonna lose the client, and I'll never get paid again. I can call my insurance people and get them to.
That's if you got it.
If right, and hopefully I got it.
It'd be surprising me people who they'll be like, I just want the camera. I get this showing.
No, you're right.
But you're right.
Okay. You're right. But in my scenario, that's my little thing.
No, everybody's perspective is different. Yeah, because in my head, I'm like, we just shoot it again.
It depends on what equipment I got in the car.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you messing with a Red or something.
I ain't never had to
or Ursa.
You making me think all deep on this.
Like
this was supposed to be.
Or something. Like, I don't know, y'all great, but y'all not worth this. Sorry, but
there you have it. All right, cool. That's it. Appreciate it.
It was a great show.
Thank
you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's that.